she spoke about the idea that there is also obviously issues when it comes to the West Bank, and Israeli aggression there continues on. This may not be the focus of the international community in general, but this is also an issue. Dr. Miki, the plans involve, or the meetings that took place yesterday also involve the idea of Palestinian self-determination, where they can establish a Palestinian state both in Gaza and the West Bank. And they doubled down on the idea of a two-state solution. How significant do you believe this is in ensuring the legitimacy of the Palestinian sovereignty when it comes to international forums? And how receptive will the international community be towards this idea? Because there has been a lot of pushback when it comes to self-determination to Palestinians.
Yes, I think for the self-determination Palestinian, as you know, it was even from 1967 when they started many of the scenarios about this, that idea for the Palestinian self-determination and two-state solution. And after that, we see many of the initiatives, especially on the 2002, the initiative of the Arab League in that time, when they said about the self-determination for the Palestinian and also for their right to have their Jerusalem capital as for their state, and also to live with peace with the Israeli neighboring beside the Palestinian state. All these things have been, presented before, and many of the initiatives were there. But that's for the Arab Summit and yesterday, I think they supporting and also they encouraging for this idea, and also they are commitment in order that the Palestinians should have their right for their state, and also for the East Jerusalem to be as their capital, and also in the same time to have the one unity government between Gaza and between West Bank. And this is one thing was positive yesterday in the summit, is that they considered as West Bank and Gaza to be as one unity under the umbrella of the Palestinian National Authority, and after that to reach to the Palestinian state. I think also all the international community, they are supporting this idea from the beginning. All the European Union, Japan, China, Russia, all of these, that state, they are supporting the Palestinian state, and also at the same time to be beside the Israeli state. So I think the Arab Summit yesterday was obvious in that's saying about this idea and affirming that the Palestinians should have their right for the self-determination and the two-state solution.
Okay, Mr. ElNatsha, the plan also proposes temporary housing for over 1.5 million displaced people in Gaza during the reconstruction process. How can this be implemented given the extent of the destruction caused by the Israeli aggression in the Strip itself? And how long do you think it will take to get into these homes, or these portable homes, inside the Gaza Strip?
In case that the plan being executed, the recovery of 6 months by entering the mobile homes as well as the temporary hospitals and schools, that will assist to gain the normalcy of the Gaza Strip, as given the fact that the size of the destruction of 80% of the infrastructure in the Gaza Strip, and the situation is catastrophic, and it is designated that it is unlivable. But not only during the war, but years ago, as the United Nations announced that the Gaza Strip is becoming a very dangerous place for life, and due to the Israeli siege that lasted for 17 years, due to the pollutions and the remain of the rightly plants by storing in all the waste in the sea. That all these features that gave the lives impossible. But now we are talking about two difficult choices. The first one is displacing the residents of the Gaza Strip and the execution of Trump's plan without having the Palestinian people inside. And the second choice choice is, as the Palestinian wishes, to stay in the Gaza Strip despite the difficulties, in order to enable them to revive the life and the economical traits and the traits in Gaza. The destruction is huge, but the ability of survivor and to staying in the Gaza Strip is very large. We've witnessed it throughout the past 5 wars and throughout more than 17 years of blockades by Israel. And I think that the policy of executing the early recovery plan of 6 months by entering the caravans is a realistic one vis-à-vis what is proposed by Israel. But it requires an international community pressure to enter all the machineries and the caravans as soon as possible. Upon the deal that Israel is already signed to enter the machinery during the second phase of the ceasefire deal.
Okay, Dr. Mickey, now you heard Mr. ElNatsha talking about the idea of the reconstruction plan and moving in mobile homes into the Gaza Strip, and how this is going to be a difficult situation in general, but it's better than displacement. But given the Israeli actions that are taking place right now, how feasible is it that we're going to move on to the reconstruction phase if they continue on to blockade the humanitarian aid and, avoiding moving on to the second phase and attempting in every way to avoid a permanent ceasefire?
I think, yes, this is, that's important point here, is that when the Israeli is not allowing or avoiding that the assistance to go enter Gaza, this is a problem. And because of this, I think this will like obstacles for the going ahead with the reconstruction of Gaza, and also for anything should be positive in Gaza, because the Israeli, they now prevented to any that assistance aid, and also all the mobile houses or the tents, or even now they are threatening to that to cut the water and the electricity, and also all the medical equipment, and also all these things that should related to the life of the people in Gaza. So this is all the tools that are using by the Israeli will be one of the challenge and the obstacles that will be a problem for continuation or going to the reconstruction of Gaza. And I think in order that we could ahead with this, there should be pressure on Israeli government in order to allow, and also at the same time to continuation of the first stage, which is obviously was focusing on entering all these equipments, and even that's opening all the borders there, because the Israeli closed all the border and they preventing the Palestinians to receive all these assistance aids. So I think if it is not going ahead with this, there will be a problem, and we couldn't make any that signals of marks of going to reconstructions of Gaza.